Communication is key in everything we do, but sometimes you don't know how to communicate well. So we're going to learn today the ABCs of communicating so we can do it better. We got Dr. Will Moreland here. He's a World Civility Ambassador and also an award-winning entrepreneur and the founder of the Will Moreland International. Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I enjoy being here with you guys.
I know, and I see your books because you're also an author. You do speaking with Fortune 500 companies, and you also help individuals who may have started their business but sort of gotten stuck. And communication is the one thing that helps catapult you. So let's talk about the ABCs, and the number one thing you say is we need to learn how to be authentic. But how do we do it?
Well, we got to be authentic. You know, in real estate, they say the number one thing is location, location,
Absolutely.
location. But in relationships, the number one thing is communication, communication, communication.
Absolutely.
And when you are communicating, no matter what relationship you're in, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a boss to an employee, you want to be authentic. You want to be genuine. When you're authentic, I remember when I was in the Army, I didn't know everything. I was a very young leader. And so when my soldiers would come up to me, they wanted me to be genuine. They wanted me to be authentic. I didn't have to know everything. They didn't want me to be perfect. They just wanted me to be honest. And a part of communication is being authentic and being honest.
That's the hardest thing nowadays, because with technology, the short-term vocabulary that individuals have because of texting, being your real self is sometimes hard because they hide behind the mask of that screen. So when you are communicating, especially on a professional level, how do you really let yourself in that guard down to be vulnerable in front of your individual peers?
Well, that goes into number two, right? I say you want to be bold, but with respect.
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
You want to be bold, but you want to do it with respect, understanding that the person that you're talking to is another human being that needs to be valued. And so when I talk about being, speaking with boldness, it's not that you're crash, it's not that you're yelling and screaming, but what you want to do is give off a confidence that says, hey, I know what I'm talking about, and the more you're confident about the more you're confident, the more people are going to be confident when you're communicating with them.
And so this is something that is definitely you have to practice it. Yeah. You have to really hone in these skills, because for a lot of people, it's like when you're shy, walking into a room, you can't just strike up a conversation. Most people can't. So communicating is something that you're going to have to work on. So what would you advise somebody to do to just start off small so they can build themselves up to be a better communicator?
Well, you know, people are going to be surprised that I say this because I am a speaker, but I'm really an introvert. And so for me to speak and be in public,
I know, on that platform.
It's really a big thing for me. So I do honestly practice, and that takes us right into number three. You want to be clear about your end result. So whenever I'm practicing or whenever I think I'm going to be communicating with someone, Stephen Covey said in the 7 Habits of Effective People, start with the end in mind. So what are those points that you want to convey? What are those things that you want to get over? So I'm always constantly thinking about that. So I think before I speak. Right.
Which is sometimes a hard thing to do, because people just react a lot of time and they speak without thinking.
And so what you want to do is pause when someone's talking to you. A lot of times when someone is saying something, we do think we need to just react, but it's okay to pause, think about it, take it in, right? And then think about, what do I want to accomplish at the end of what I'm about to say? I do this with my kids. I do this with my spouse. I do this with our employees. Whatever I'm saying, I want to make sure that the end result is going to be accomplished. So if I'm talking to you, Danielle, I'm thinking about, okay, at the end of this communication, even if Danielle made a mistake, I want her to be built up. I still want her to feel supported. I still want her to know she can take initiative. So I'm not going to speak in such a way that's going to tear you down. I'm going to speak in a way that builds you up. So I'm clear about the communication I want to have with you.
His name is Dr. Will Moreland. The ABCs of communicating and communicating better is what we're learning today. If you'd like more information, it's drwillspeaks.com. We'll have a link on our website to aztv.com.